Today's lesson is, I see nothing as it is now. This idea obviously follows from the two preceding ones. But while you may be able to accept it intellectually, it is unlikely that it will mean anything to you as yet. However, understanding is not necessary at this point. In fact, the recognition that you do not understand is a prerequisite for undoing your false ideas. These exercises are concerned with practice, not with understanding. You do not need to practice what you already understand. It would indeed be circular to aim at understanding and assume that you have it already. It is difficult for the untrained mind to believe that what it seems to picture is not there. It is difficult for the untrained mind to believe that what it seems to picture is not there. This idea can be quite disturbing and may meet with active resistance in any number of forms. Yet that does not preclude applying it. No more than that is required for these or any other exercises. Each small step will clear a little of the darkness away, and understanding will finally come to lighten every corner of the mind that has been cleared of the debris that darkens it. These exercises, for which 3 or 4 practice periods are sufficient, involve looking about you and applying the idea for the day to whatever you see, remembering the need for its indiscriminate application and the essential rule of excluding nothing. For example, I do not see this typewriter as it is now. I do not see this telephone as it is now. I do not see this arm as it is now. Begin with things that are nearest you and then extend the range outward. I do not see that coat rack as it is now. I do not see that door as it is now. I do not see that face as it is now. It is emphasized again that while complete inclusion should not be attempted, specific exclusion must be avoided. Be sure you are honest with yourself in making this distinction. You may be tempted to obscure it. I see nothing as it is now.
Now we can open up for sharing, if you like. How is everybody doing? Good?
Yeah.
Good?
I'm just aware a lot coming up, and it feels a lot more fluid than it has done. So that feels good. So there's a part of me is feeling grateful. There's a lot of misery, but also I woke up suddenly with subway scratching and had this fear of abandonment with you too. And suddenly all these things that I'd got rid of in England kept crowding into my mind. Yeah. And the film touched me deeply. I saw that that really every thought, every fixed belief was a self-attack. It was like a wound. That's quite quite difficult to be with. I literally could see myself sort of cutting myself. And I guess that's true of all of us. It's not just me that. Anything that is we're attached to is false, is a self-attack, is attack. And I remembered also that I went out with this is after my relationship with Sylvia, my first sort of vibrational connection, love affair. I was still really in grief, and I was with this Greek woman. And she was slightly coloured. I hadn't even thought about it. And one of her friends asked me something about that, and I just was I okay with coloured children? And I just said I'd have to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That came to mind now.
Sorry?
And that came to your mind now.
Well, it did. Yeah, from the film. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the film.
Right.
That I realised, and with Sylvia, when the only way she could stay in Britain was to get political asylum at that time. So she was going back, and I'd said to her, I just said about I was coming from doing the right thing. Go back and sort out your flat and job and everything and come back. And she misunderstood it. And I was crying as we were driving down, and I'd never really cried then. And she said, why are you crying? I said, I'm really upset you're going. She said, I thought you didn't care.
Yeah.
And so I can see that these, doing what I thought was doing the right thing was really substitute for love, which is what I saw in Joey, more. But even she was still living in this opulent house and with a black maid and everything, and it wasn't quite. But yeah, so a lot of stuff come up, a lot of shame and guilt. It feels, my mind is going, fuck, this is just too much. It's like, it's way too much. Never get through this.
Maybe everything is really pretty good.
Everything is really pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is a part that knows that as well. Thanks for reminding me, but yeah, I'm just kind of naming some of the darkness and...
Because you have named before that feeling that when she left, you felt to do the right thing, and she felt rejected by you, and then the relationship ended. But what if it all was not a mistake?
No.
You know?
That's what came.
Yeah.
It's been coming, and very bit untrusting about it, but it's coming. Like I just said it to Solveig this morning. It's like it really had nothing to do with my upbringing, and it is something I just came in with to deal with, and I can start to see that it's when I face God, then I see it's me, and I'm not a victim. That's I'm sort of shifting like this, you know, with it. Yeah, I think that's what you mean, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at some level, it's all to the good. Still feels a little bit overwhelming at times. Yeah. It's not that. I feel it's not that. I just feel the self-attack. Actually, that's what I feel. How could I be so stupid, or all that sort of stuff? It's very, can see this intolerance, around separating. I'm beginning to see it's to do with that, this intolerance from separating from God, separating from love. It's kind of what I relate more to. But why did I do that? It must be mad.
But when you see it, it's an opportunity in the present.
Yeah.
To see if you use the past to separate now. You didn't really separate in the past.
Right.
If you do it in the present, that's all that matters.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you can come back.
Yeah.
In the present and choose
Yeah.
forgiveness of the whole past and say, I choose not to separate from God right now.
Yeah, I can see it's all past in that moment.
Mm-hmm. That's when you say things like, it is a bit much.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have to feel that way. It is this moment, just,
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I can see that. I can see it's looking at all angers. Looking at anger is like looking at all anger of the past.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at stuff is just the past. I'm here now.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to really see that more and more and more. It's been coming up for a while. But I love it, you just said it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It feels very restful.
Yeah.
So as I am here now, to respond to that when the mind goes into worry, or analyzing the past, or figuring out, or feeling anything that isn't peaceful. So as I am here now, I'll be with that verse that, Lord, here I am. Jesus gave him that prayer.
Yeah. It was in my mind.
What?
It was, Lord, I am here, or here I am. Yeah.
Here I am, Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, and worthiness comes up. I know it's true.
Yeah, just let it all come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels good, really. Helpful to. This feels very gentle. Very, very helpful.
Anything else that needs to be put on the altar?
I think so. Woke up several times, scratching intensely this night. And I can see it's around some thoughts that I'm keeping to myself.
Do you want to
It's around.
Yeah. Do you want to just express the thoughts?
Yeah. It is around my son and that he would like to come here. And I would like him to come here. And then when I look at that, comes this terror up that you will all reject him, and I can see this is kind of belief that I would have to choose something. I don't know, it feels like it's connected with a kind of sacrifice. And also this that I know I've had, and still have. I want to keep things separate. So I have a real terror in my mind of having him here with you. Something like this is not good enough. This is not gonna be accepted. That's probably just my own thoughts.
Yeah, silly thoughts.
Yeah.
But it is a message there for you to hand him over.
It's just, yeah.
Maybe you read the lesson, even though we are doing lesson 9 today, you can just read it for help for this issue. The one about making a future different from the past. Because it's unexisting. It's not. It's future thoughts that aren't real. What's going on? So I feel these thoughts that you're keeping to yourself is your son.
The thoughts is my son.
Yeah.
The kind of protection of him. My thoughts are.
So it's about doing this practice of giving all thoughts to the Holy Spirit.
There's shame in that. I'm ashamed of my thoughts. I'm ashamed of him.
Yeah. Thank you for exposing that.
It is really, right now he wants to cut all that and get loose.
Cut all the shame.
What?
He wants to cut all the shame. Oh, good. Good.
All the dependency on me. He's really aware of that.
So your thoughts are shifting.
Yeah. I asked him yesterday if he still wanted to come, and he said yes. I said, it's not that you're thinking, oh, now I said I want to come and I don't have to. But he was just like, no, of course not. And then I have this terror. Yeah, I want to hide him from you. It's so heavy. So exhausting.
Yeah. But trust, you're taking your steps. And And the spirit is arranging the steps gently.
Yeah, I had this terror of just buying the tickets, that he just buy the tickets to come here, and we have no plans, we have no ideas, we have no anything. That was really terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like I needed to know.
I think that is maybe your lesson, to tell him to wait until you feel it, till it's guided, till it's known when. It's not out of your control. Take this as a mind training, that you will feel this.
He have a school holiday.
He has a school holiday when he wants to come.
That's actually just 1 week that is possible for him.
Oh, okay.
February.
Okay. Yeah. Or maybe wait a couple of days until you know a little more, and then, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So I needed to expose this.
Yeah.
I needed to expose this.
Yeah.
It's just killing this, spinning around.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah. Yesterday you said that that the Holy Spirit's voice is as loud as our willingness to hear it.
Yeah.
And I was feeling and you were also very compromiseless or very direct with the scratching, which I took as my scratching could be my need for rest. So now I will be a little more, what can you say, strong. Yeah. So when I wanted to rest after the session, I go to my room. I remembered Jeffrey from that community over there somewhere, and he said that when he was tired, sometimes he took a walk. He just took a walk, and it is this feeling that sometimes when I challenge that tiredness, then it feels like I actually connect better with people there. So I was walking, and I could see in my mind, it was feeling like what ayahuasca had showed me, that there is this sickness in my mind, and then right on the other side of the sickness there is just colors. And so if I can be able to hold that heaviness and stay in that, then there is also this beautiful reward at the same time with the colors.
Yeah, if you get through the resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I can just stay in it, I'm not even going through it. I'm just,
allowing it.
Allowing it, yeah.
Fighting it.
And it seems that me being willing to hold that heaviness is actually my gift to my brothers sometimes, right? That was what I felt yesterday. And then I came home, and I could rest a little before lunch because lunch was at 4, but I was thinking, I'm just gonna see what happens here. Take a shower. And then lunch was delayed, so I couldn't get my rest before the movie, and I was a little triggered there. But anyway, so we had lunch, and then I was beginning to feel like, and then when I met Barret in the hallway, I was just feeling at the lowest point of my day, and I just couldn't smile or anything. And when I don't smile, of course people don't smile. So I thought that I had made you sad. So I just went into my room
with this feeling, now you didn't listen to guidance again, and you make people sad, and so this figure it out thing is just an ongoing issue for me. And I even heard a doctor talking about chronic fatigue, which I believe I have, because the story is that I have been so hard on myself for so many years, and I've not slept, and I have gray hairs, and the cancer is growing in me, and it's really quite. I believe that there is this cancer that I have to save myself from, which creates an intense amount of willingness because I want to live.
You want to heal from that imagined cancer. You want to heal, yeah.
I hope it's imagined.
Imagined cancer.
This heaviness feels like it feels like I'm dying, but at some point I really hope that it is just because there are many uploads, and so it's the ego that is dying. That's my hope. So anyway, I didn't rest that much yesterday, and my story is also that if I didn't rest enough, then I'm in fight or flight, and I know mind that when the body is in fight or flight, then it doesn't prioritize sleep. So I woke up at 6 this morning, 7 hours sleep should be fine, and I also, I was quite happy. But then sitting here, at some moments I was also happy, and at some moments it was just, I was feeling fatigued, exhausted, and having this thought, why does my body wake me up before it's ready? Why is that happening? That annoyance.
Yeah, so maybe it's there you can try to stop interpreting anything. And remember the words, rest doesn't come from sleep. It comes from awakening. Mm-hmm. And it could be, or it is actually, the more you heal your mind, you're not going to feel fatigue or this fear of not getting enough rest. There's a lot of healing you're still doing. And I think I saw on your face when you were sitting here, it's easy to see on you, you're so transparent. I see when you're happy and restful, and then when you're going through something. And it was almost like a very small child. First he was like 4 years old, and then 10 minutes later I looked over, you were 9 years old. So it's something you go through from, maybe even from the past, from your childhood, some stuck points, where you're healing some things that you have been stuck in. And if you go from 4 years old to 9 years old in 10 minutes, then you go pretty fast with your healing. But I wouldn't figure out or analyze, it's to trust. And what you're doing sounds great, like you're questioning that need to sleep and rest. That sounds like some kind of, there is a belief that is some strong, and the belief in sickness. So you're facing something, and you're doing it the right way when you're not just going with it all the time, you're questioning it, taking a walk, staying up, joining.
Yeah, and I also, the belief that, for example, that you left the lunch table, you guys, because I was feeling a little sad. So this belief that, or sad or victim or whatever, and so that belief, like, because you had said in the morning that you didn't feel to, I interpreted what you said as that you didn't feel to join when there was a mind that was scattered. So that I interpreted as if I'm not feeling good, she don't want to be around. They don't want to be around if I'm not feeling good. They only want to be around when I'm totally blissful.
I just wanted to sit in the sun for lunch, and I would have loved you and anyone to be with me. So yeah, that was, yeah. I think it's good to remember you're always wrong when you conclude something about someone else, to realize it's your belief that you see, so it's your unworthiness.
Yeah, and I know that it's not true that you don't want to be around people when they're going through darkness, because I see all the time that you actually stay when people are going through that, so I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to share some stuff. Feeling just a lot of heaviness about this role that I have. There's been a lot of just uncertainty and doubt coming into my mind lately. I'm just feeling heavy at the moment with it. Yeah, I've been having a lot of self-judgment. Yeah, I even had the thought maybe I should step back for a while. You know, someone else try it out.
And if your true function or your real function is forgiveness, does that make it feel a bit lighter?
I don't know.
Because with the role, that is just a training to let spirit do it through you.
But I'm doubting. You know, I'm reviewing. I've been doing this for a while now. It's like I've been reviewing past situations, and I'm judging myself, and I'm feeling guilty. I'm comparing myself to you, to how you are.
I think it's just fear, Matthew. I think it's fear of bleeding. And I think you are very gentle, but you're also in a role where you will be projected onto. That's when you're a leader, you get that. It's included in the package. But that is just for you to allow to wash away any self-judgment, any self-doubt, any unworthiness, and to trust and not taking things personally. You've been very guided with addressing things and giving out tasks. Yeah. Very willing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But at times maybe not everybody has been willing to do what you ask them to do. But I think that is also just a further washing for you, continuing to be clear.
Yeah, okay.
You stay in the task.
Yeah, well. Agree.
And so it is.
Thank you.
All in favor, said I. Mm. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Or should I take it?
Do you want it?
Do you want
Up for grabs. No, it's good. It's beautiful. You're gonna just keep strengthening.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's normal to go through a period of doubt and uncertainty. And
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.